My name is Michael Potts, and I live on this Scepter 36-foot sailboat. And this is where I am today. We're in Myrtle Beach, just north of Myrtle Beach. It's this really great anchorage. And in the last video, kind of lost my mind because there's a lot of power boaters going by, and I'll admit it, guys, I lost my cool. It won't happen again. But if you want to see that video, click the link in the top right screen, and you can battle it out in the comments as to if and how I should maybe not have lost my cool in that video. Anyway, check it out. It's a really interesting video. Previous video to this one. In this video, Mark and I are going to take his boat out for the first time and put up the sails. And then we're going to go all the way up towards Wilmington into North Carolina, across the Cape Fear River to this really cool anchorage in Carolina Beach. So stick around. This is going to be interesting. Alrighty, we are on Mark's boat, and we're going to take her out and get the sails up. I promise you guys I'll have a drone shot of this boat with the sails up, but not on this one because Mark's compensating me for taking him out and showing him how to sail. So I want to concentrate. I'm going to very limitedly vlog this. All right, this is Mark's boat. She's a Downeaster. And we just got the new autopilot installed. We're going to go test it out and see what happens. It's a super busy day. We're out on Arabella. Mark's at the helm. We got boats everywhere today. It's boat crazy day. And we are gonna go and attempt to put up the sails. It's gonna be great. Stick around. Look at that, we're sailing. This boat's doing almost 7 knots with barely any sail up. I mean, I'm very impressed with its maneuverability so far. Look at that, yield over. Chart plotter's working. We got our Ray Marine autopilot. We're not even using the helm right now. Isn't that crazy? We're not even, the helm's locked off and she's just sailing straight right now. What are we doing? 6.6 knots.
6.6 knots.
Insane. What a beautiful boat. So I must admit, taking Mark's vessel out for the first time really struck me. Because of the size of the vessel, because it's a catch drag vessel. It's a 38. It's just a heavier, bigger boat that's designed for long distance cruising. It really makes my boat sort of look like a, well, Mark calls it, my boat, a bleach bottle. You know, Arabella is a real ship. And that sort of stuck with me. And I kind of realized that I need a bigger boat. I mean, something more capable. I like the idea how she just pointed into the wind, and that was it. You know, she just cruising through those waters. She was heavy enough to blast through those waves. So after a while, we turned around and came back in, and we anchored for the night. That's the best part about this lifestyle out here. You get to be in the anchorages all night, and relax and watch the sunset. Oh, it's something special, I'll tell you. So that anchorage, it's an amazing anchorage. But in the morning, we had to move on, heading north. What a beautiful day. Adesto is making its way up the coast right now. So we're gonna start to get into some heavy winds tomorrow. So I think I'm gonna use the power of that wind that's going north. Because Adesto is north of us, all that weather has been dragged into the North Atlantic. I'm gonna use the power of that wind to really cover distance over the next couple days. I'm not quite sure about this, guys, so don't hold me to account on this, but it seems to me, now that I'm returning back north, when I came south here, I remember all this from years ago. As I'm heading north here, I can feel the Mercator projection. It's strange. Sometimes you chart plot between 2 points, you're like, that's weird, that's 100 nautical miles. And then a little bit north of there, the same distance on the chart seems like, whoa, the same distance seems like 40 nautical miles. I think the Mercator projection in the Ray Marine charts that I have anyway as you go north, you're actually able to, it seems like you're covering more distance on the chart. You understand? If you look at what the shape of the Earth actually looks like versus the Mercator projection, I think the charts have a slightly various, you know, a mishmash of both on the charts there to give a sailor an accurate representation of what he's used to seeing versus charts, versus the Mercator projection. So we are officially in North Carolina. This is great. Really good cruising grounds up here. If there was good wind here, I'd be booting through here with all my sails up. There's going to be good wind later on in the day. Mark's autopilot that we just spent 2 days setting up and programming and attaching to his wheel and, you know, getting everything sorted is officially 100% working now accurately. The EV 200 Ray Marine product costs about $1,600 US. It's working, so that's great. We're successful in that endeavor. This is my problem, guys. I need to get to New York, okay? And in New York, I need to go up the Hudson to Peelskill. Just beyond that, I need to enter, I gotta go through the Hudson River Lock and Dam, number 2, and then officially get into the Erie Canal system. That Erie Canal system closes on October 15th. So I need to get into that canal system and give myself time to get out of it and into the Oswego and get over across Lake Ontario. So we're still pretty far away here. So I need to give myself time. If the engine was to break down, I had to stop for 2 weeks to order parts, blah, blah, blah. I need to be able to get as north as quickly as I can. Plus I want to hang out with my buddy Thomas up there. Alright, the problem with this boat is when you're going downwind, that exhaust plumes up and into here and you breathe it all day. And oh my god, I got not a headache, but I feel like woozy. In Coinjock, one of the times my lungs started hurting because it was so bad. So anyway, I'm gonna try and turn the engine off. Don't do this. People are gonna be like, you're crazy, what are you doing? The J length on my boat is a little different. This pole is from another boat. Should never be like this, but it's super light wind conditions. I'm just trying to keep that sail deployed. But if I lost control of the boat right now, how would I get this in? I mean, it's just, don't do what I'm doing right now, okay? I know my boat, I know what I can get away with. Yeah, I gotta change this. Jesus, what am I doing wrong here? I need to take in this sail and put this pole in the front there to the actual spin, or the ring that's on the mast for the pole, the whisker pole. I'm sure someone will comment, what are you doing? You know, it's the only pole I got. It's not meant for this boat. What I need is a telescopic whisker pole, spinnaker pole, so that I can adjust it in and out. Because this is a 150, you know, ooh, it's rubbing it. Oh, that's not good. All right, I'm gonna fix this. This is stupid. Situation. So there's two problems. One, Mark's stuck on the bank there. Tide's going up. That's a big old heavy boat and he's hard aground. So he's gonna call Towboat USA, and I had steam coming out of my engine and then now there's no water coming out. I checked all the hoses, so there could be a major issue with the engine.
So I'm gonna go look at it right now. I'll tell you what happens.
Yeah. Mark and I are racing because I have to fix something on my engine, but we have to be somewhere like an anchorage to fix it, and I don't want to do it in this little canal here. So a couple nautical miles away, we'll drop the hook and I'll fix it. But for now, we're racing. Good times. All right, well, I was doing 8 knots a minute ago there. I'm on the Cape Fear River. And we're in a situation again here. This is not good. The engine's doing something weird. There's no water coming out of the back. I checked the impeller and it's fine. So it looks like it's near where the exhaust elbow is. It's leaking out. Maybe it's a busted tube or something. I can't get back there right now. I can run the engine, but not for more than a few minutes. So I'm gonna take advantage of the wind and the tide and get into Carolina Pier Beach, okay? Where there's a really great anchorage there, there's a Publix there, there's everything I need right there. I just need to get there. This could be a big problem. This could be the heat exchanger, it could be the corroded inside of the engine, you know what I mean? This could be bad. So I don't know. Anyway, I'm sure it's something simple. I just have to dig into it, you know what I mean? Like, go in there and take the exhaust elbow off, look at it, inspect it, and figure it out. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna sail only into Carolina Beach Pier. I will have to start the engine for about 2 minutes at the end just to anchor, but it's very protected. There's a reason why they call it Cape Fear, and the tide here is notoriously strong, and I don't want to be anywhere near here. I want to be inland where there's auto zones and part stores and West Marines and figure out this problem. All right, we're in Carolina Beach, and yesterday I blew a impeller. Make sure you carry lots of these. Even though this is the first time I've had to change this, make sure you got lots of them. I got 6 of them. Kind of glad when things go wrong like that, because I sailed the rest of the day yesterday and pulled in here, and in a storm last night, there was a big storm. It was about 3 in the morning, and what happened was I was running the engine, but there was no water coming out of the back. You can do that for maybe 15-20 seconds, a minute if you really have to. And a storm blew in, and I was like, oh, I don't have my engine. If I continue to run an engine without an impeller, it will seize, and you'll have to get a new engine. It'll just seize up, right? It'll overheat and seize up. So last night I'm thinking, oh, is it a bigger problem? You know, what's going on? It makes you appreciate when things work. In sailing, things are amazing, and then all of a sudden they're not. And you got to just be on top of it. So, and I'm not on top of it on this boat at this point. You know, there's so much wrong with this boat. There's so much problems. I need to take this boat and haul out and individually go for months and solve every single problem with this boat. It's not something I can do right here, and I'm in a rush to head north. So that's the situation. I'm gonna try and spend today and really dig into this engine. I'm gonna change the fuel filters, oil filter, do an oil change, and hopefully it'll run like it did a couple days ago. All right, so I figured it out. All right, so it was the impeller after all, which is great. I was really worried it was something bigger. So what's happening is this impeller here needed to be changed. I've done that, and there is water coming out of the back of the engine now. However, this engine's in rough condition. I need to do an oil change. So that's what I'm gonna do today. There's a place called O'Reilly's Auto Parts, and I'm gonna call them right now. We're gonna get an oil filter. I'm gonna get all new oil. I'm gonna change all the fuel filters, and I'm gonna get new banjo washers, copper banjo washers, because I'm gonna have to re-bleed this whole system. So that's what's going on. We're not going anywhere today because I need to bang out. This engine needs to just get us to Lake Ontario. Literally, at one point in the future here, in the next month or so, we will be traveling on the canal without a mast. The mast will be horizontal, and the entire movement of the boat will be depending on this engine. So we need to make sure that the maintenance is kept up with. All right, it's our second day here in Carolina Beach, and we got a guy that's heading to Canada. Mark's coming over. We're gonna go to the Autopilot store, or the Autopilot store. We're going to the auto parts store, a little early, and gonna grab oil and give oil in. And anyway, I asked this guy, hey, you got a radio? And he's got 6 of them, so I'm gonna go buy one off him, or trade maybe. We'll see in a second here. Well, we know we're getting north when you start seeing food lines. And Mark and I just went to O'Reilly's Auto Parts, and we got oil, or how Mark pronounced it, oil. And we got an oil filter and some hose. That cost me, Jesus, 150 bucks. We're gonna go get a haircut now because I look like a bum. All right, let's get at her. Wow, so we're deep in the heart of Carolina Beach here, and there's actually everything you need. It's great. There's isn't really a place to go put your dinghy, but we found a spot where I went into the office and the lady was like, what would you say? What you don't know won't hurt you. So she kind of looked the other way while we docked the dinghy. Anyway, Mark found a hard console dinghy, like with not one of those inflatable ones, for 300. He's gonna get that, and I'm gonna use his for the time being because my dinghy's kind of had it. You know, Mark's in trying to find a 9 horsepower for his vessel. Anyway, we're gonna cruise into Oriental coming up here, so stick around for that. Oriental is a very famous place where, you know, hardcore vagrants like us go to. You guys got to stick around and see that. It's going to be interesting. Look at this. It's like a whole beach town right here. Isn't that amazing? Mark and I are going in for a good old sit-down breakfast. That's the thing about being on a boat is you make your own food all the time. There's something special about having something that's prepared by somebody else. So we walked about a mile to get to this place here. What a beautiful place. They got surf shops here. There's beautiful women everywhere. Oh, it's great. Yeah, we'll be out of here tomorrow, heading north. Next stop, Moorhead City.
After enjoying a really awesome breakfast, Mark and I headed back to our boats. Carolina Beach is absolutely, hands down, one of the best anchorages in North Carolina, as far as I'm concerned. It's a great spot. It's a little hard to get into. Check it out on the charts. That's it for this video for this week. Next week, things get very interesting. So stick around. Leave a comment down below. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button for me if you can. If you're really interested in this content, want to see more, want to see things that aren't on YouTube, you can join my Patreon. The link is in the description down below. So join me next week as we move north in an attempt to escape the hurricane season. That's it for this week. Captain Michael signing out. We'll see you next week at Sunday at 8:45 a.m. Fair winds.